So much of the world's attention is zeroed in on Gaza right now. Israeli advances into Gaza City have displaced tens of thousands, and the images coming out are just devastating. Civilian casualties keep climbing, and the humanitarian crisis seems to worsen by the day.
What really struck me this week was the U.S. vetoing that UN ceasefire resolution. Most member states supported it, hoping it might pause the fighting for aid and evacuation. Instead, the veto felt like a gut punch to a lot of people watching, especially with the sheer scale of suffering on the ground.
You could feel the frustration globally, right? The U.S. stance is complicated, they argue. Israel needs to defend itself. But meanwhile, all those families are caught in the middle. It's such a difficult tightrope, with real lives at stake.
Exactly. And the longer the stalemate drags on, the more complex it becomes to untangle cause from consequence. The humanitarian corridors aren't enough, and with increased displacement, aid agencies are sounding the alarm louder than ever. It just makes me wonder how long international patience will last before some kind of shift happens.
Switching gears a bit, Ukraine's back in the headlines too, with Zelensky actually showing up on the front lines. That's a bold, almost symbolic move, especially as their counteroffensive regains momentum.
And did you notice how Western leaders seem to immediately react? There's always that tension between showing support and not wanting to provoke Russia further. It's almost like everyone's holding their breath to see if Ukraine's push can really change the calculations, or if it'll just draw things out even longer.
Honestly, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Ukraine manages a breakthrough, it could shift the whole balance. But Western hesitation over sending more aid is palpable. Nobody wants to be blamed for escalation, but standing by risks letting Russia dig in deeper.
What worries me is the fatigue setting in, both in Ukraine and among its allies. People want results, but war just drags on and wears everyone down. I keep thinking, how much longer can this tug of war last before someone gives?
That actually reminds me back in the U.S. Political drama is hitting from all sides. The TikTok back and forth between Trump and Xi is wild. Who would have guessed a video app could become the center of a tech sovereignty debate?
It's kind of surreal, isn't it? The whole idea of splitting off a US-based TikTok is about more than just an app. It's about control, data, even what stories or news people can see. The censorship angle has people on edge, especially with the FCC jumping into heated debates over media freedom.
And if that wasn't enough, the Senate's failure to pass stopgap funding, now there's real talk of a government shutdown. It's like political brinkmanship is the new normal, and the uncertainty trickles down to everyday life.
The Jimmy Kimmel suspension really brought that censorship debate into homes too. Suddenly everyone's talking about where the line between free speech and responsible broadcasting is and who gets to draw it. It feels like each week a new fire gets lit under these old questions.
Funny you say that Romania's been its own whirlwind lately. Cullen Georgescu's hunger strike, the legal threats, all those viral arguments about his possible arrest. It's like a political thriller playing out in real time.
And then there's the PM, Eli Bologin, suddenly facing allegations of running a blacklist against union protesters. The speculation is intense, with some suggesting the fallout could topple the government entirely. The public's trust is shaky, and every new development seems to deepen the divide.
Romanian media is feeding off the uncertainty. Every twist gets amplified. It's not just about legal details, but about how these stories tap into deeper frustrations with corruption and power. People are angry, but also just tired of scandal after scandal.
That exhaustion you mentioned that's spreading. When public faith in leadership crumbles, even small controversies can spiral. It's like people are waiting for the next shoe to drop, and no one's sure what stability would even look like anymore.
After all that, it's almost refreshing, but also exhausting to watch the big ideas get debated. Jill Lepore's PBS appearance about the U.S. Constitution stirred up so many opinions around originalism versus living interpretation.
What surprised me most is how quickly those debates spill onto social media. Suddenly, it's not just legal scholars weighing in, but regular people arguing about what the Constitution should mean today. It makes the whole thing feel very alive and a little chaotic.
And then there's the anti-Soros narratives gaining traction in Eastern Europe. Politicians like Crin, Antonescu, and even Mike Flynn in the U.S. are fueling these viral claims about global influence. It's incredible how quickly a single name can become a rallying point for so many different agendas.
Even though those stories can seem fringe, they have real consequences, fueling polarization, shaping elections, and even impacting diplomatic ties. At the end of the day, it's a reminder of just how fiercely contested our ideas and information spaces have become.